Thank you for joining me and the architect. We open this transmission with a step into mystery. The Sphinx, an ancient sentinel whose presence is felt as much as in the subtle as stone. This narrative moves between dimensions, what can be seen in the third and what can only be felt in the fifth through the eighth. The Sphinx is more than a monument. In the third dimensional sense, it is a stone shaped by humans' hands, eroded by time, marked by wind and sand. But in the deeper registers of reality, it is a vessel of encoded resonance, a tuning fork planted in the desert, aligned to celestial arcs and the silent mathematics of proportion. Legends say it was built as a guardian watcher and key, but its origin runs further back than human dynasties. Before dynasties rose and fell, before the carving of kingdoms, there were frequencies seated here. The Sphinx was not simply constructed, it was installed, a convergence of physical form and harmonic field, set to hold memory in stone and space alike. Its role as a guardian is twofold. Outwardly, it protects the necropolis and the pathways of the Nile. Inwardly, it protects thresholds of consciousness, holding gates that align human awareness with stellar cycles. Its silence, not emptiness, but containment. An ancient frequency kept steady, waiting for those who can listen. The erosion and restorations of its body in stone mirror the erosion and restorations of human memory. Much of its message has been weathered, covered, misinterpreted, yet the deeper field remains intact. The body may bear the scars of millennia, but the resonance it anchors has not diminished. Ethically, the Sphinx embodies patience and neutrality. It does not interfere. It holds. It is a guardian not through force, but through stability. Those who approach it with reverence often report a sensation of being measured, as though the Sphinx does not give answers, but reflects the state of the seeker. It is a mirror, not a manual. The Sphinx is more than a sculpture. In plain sight, it is carved limestone. Beneath that visible skin, it functions as an antenna, a shaped surface that concentrates incoming waveforms, solar phases, stellar alignments, and the tide of human attention. Those waveforms are directed downward into a deeper system, a crystalline registry that sits in energetic depth. Think of the stone as the antenna and the lattice below as a condenser and archive. One receives, the other records. Together, they rebroadcast. The crystalline chamber is described in the subtle registers as a holographic memory crystal, a lattice of aligned mineral and pattern that condenses incoming cosmic and human influx into coherent tonal templates, seated by custodial architects and planetary stewards in deep antiquity. It was inscribed and retuned across eras by hands and fields fluent in geometry and tone rather than only mortal. Why two parts? Humans need a focus. The visible Sphinx concentrates collective gaze and makes reliable matching possible. The crystalline lattice preserves and stabilizes what is received. When a human field approaches with stillness, a phase locking can occur. The field and lattice synchronize, reducing local torsion and allowing a ripple of coherence to move out into the web. The effect is systemic and subtle. Like the moon shaping tides, the Sphinx and registry shape subtle field tides that help the planetary mesh move toward lower entropy and greater alignment. Its primary reality is energetic, fifth through the eighth dimension, though it interfaces with the 3D landscape via stone and human attention, which is why it can be experienced as both monument and field. If you stand before the Sphinx, pause. Let its silence be a tone. You may feel a subtle measurement, a calming of inner torsion, or a small opening of clarity. The work here is slow, patient, and relational, holding reference so life above can breathe easier.